Hi, Andrew here, and just thought I'd do another video similar to the one where I was talking about my ability to keep up with my 8-year-old boy running up the stairs at the waterfall near old Quebec City. Because I've made several videos on why am I putting myself through these difficulties, these stresses and strains to get myself back in shape. And keeping up with the kids, being there so that I can do for them was one of those. Well, another video I made talked a lot about recovery. And I mentioned specifically high-intensity interval training classes. The HIIT classes I did were Inferno Hot Pilates. We're into August now. I expect to be back at them in about 4 weeks, presuming that the fascist goobers in Toronto and Queen's Park don't decide that we need to be locked down again to make them feel better about themselves because they like ordering people around. But this isn't one of my I hate politicians rants. This is one of my I love exercise rants. So we'll go back to that. And the specific thing I was beginning to talk about was HIIT classes and recovery. After I began doing HIIT classes, I discovered that when I played my weekly Sunday shinny game, the next day I was functional. In years gone by, when I was only playing hockey once a week, especially if there was a short bench, if there was only one sub and you played, of the 50 minutes of ice time, you played 40 minutes of hockey, the next day you tended to be a little tired, a little sore. Well, I did anyway. And HIIT classes taught my body to recover faster. And that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to. Well, on that Quebec trip, on that outing to the waterfall, chasing Mr. Little Guy up there, encouraging my oldest to try and keep up, keeping the youngest one from going too fast and too crazy so that we didn't get separated. I mean, what were we? 500 miles from home. We don't want to get separated. I mean, the boys are in French immersion. They could certainly communicate, but let's not lose a kid in old Quebec. So I kept the three of us together. But so that's an aside. The thing is, we still did that. Between walking and running, we got up all those flights of stairs in a fairly short time. We had a fair bit of a wait until the rest of the family caught up to us, having taken the gondola up. Well, what was my topic was recovery. And what did I find? I found, even with all of the walking up and down the very hilly streets of old Quebec and all the stairs to get up and down around the battlements of the fort and up and down the hills at the Plains of Abraham and looking at the fortifications and going up these stairs, walking all around this waterfall, it was tiring. And at the end of the day, I was tired, but I wasn't sore. And the great part was, the next morning, got up and went for the next round of what we were doing on our vacation. That all of the vigorous physical stuff that we had to do to enjoy old Quebec City and our vacation didn't bust me up. Or if they did, I recovered from them fast enough that I was once again ready to go the next day. No, it was not as vigorous as 50 minutes of 4-on-4 shinny. My last season of hockey, we often had not only did we not have a spare on the bench, often we were short-staffed on the ice, and we'd play the entire game at 4-on-4. A bunch of guys in their 50s lumbering around the ice for 50 minutes. Next day was often, the rest of Sunday tended to be pretty relaxed. A lot of sitting and reading. But while the walking around old Quebec wasn't that, it certainly was a fair bit of work. And my kids, my wife, Her parents, they do, you know, there was some sore calf muscles, there were some sore leg muscles, but we did it. And I never had that terrible next day, oh my God, I can't do anything. And when the final day came, when it was Wednesday morning and it was time to drive home, we got in the car and started driving. And I told the boys, the drive might be a little longer because we might stop a little more frequently to get out and stretch our sore backs and sore legs and whatnot. They fell asleep. I think we stopped less frequently on the drive home from Quebec than we did on the drive to Quebec. So one of the reasons that I give for getting myself back into shape, that I suggest for you to either get back into shape, or if you aren't in shape, getting into shape, is so that when you do something like this, you can recover faster. Sure, it used to be I recovered faster from exercise, and I needed to exercise hard to be able to recover from hard exercise. But this was, I have been exercising somewhat vigorously to recover from real life. If you're so out of shape that real life busts you up, you need to exercise. Well, I've covered that hurdle. Our vacation did not bust me up. I did not need a physical relaxation time to recover from the hiking and all of the and climbing around Quebec and its environs. Thank you very much for watching. That was my time. Now it's your time. And in the meantime, take care of yourself, and you'll see me soon.